Okay, here is meme of the week.
Eating 2 slices of key lime pie and another slice of key lime pie.
Seemed to be appropriate for this week.
Yes.
Okay, so I wanted to share. Oops, let me go back to this. Wanted to share an Adultitis Fighter that I came across. Basically, he's the chief of the Waterslide. All right. Now, this was posted on Facebook from one of our tribe members, Sarah Tashan. And this was just a personal post, and she shared it in one of our Facebook groups. And I just kind of wanted to share what she shared because it was really kind of cool.
Can you share what she shared?
I will share
what
Sarah shared.
All right.
She said, "You can never judge a book by its cover." All right. We decided to burn off some energy and have some water fun at a nearby hotel. It was the perfect size for the kids to run and play. My suit was on, but I really wanted to do was just sit in the hot tub and gab with my sister. Can relate to that, right? There were 2 fantastic slides. Hannah and Finley conquered these quickly, and then it was Elena's turn. "Mom, will you come with me?" she begged. I went up the stairs, and she asked me to go double with her. The sign said no double riding, and since I'm sometimes a rule follower, I told her she'd have to go by herself. The lifeguard at the top was really nice. He was watching the kids and taking his job very seriously, even moving his arms like he was directing traffic. All right. I assumed he was making minimum wage at a pretty boring job and was impressed that he was acting like he enjoyed it. He told me he noticed Hannah's kindness as she had asked him his name, which was Mike, and let other kids budge in front of her. This made my mama heart proud. As I was gabbing with Mike each time while waiting to go down a slide, I learned something pretty cool. Mike told me he was a retired police officer. He had worked in Madison for 37 years and loved his job because he got to see the joy on the kids' faces before going down the slides. He also volunteers in Madison to help seniors with dementia get their water exercise. Mike said it was okay if I wanted to go down backwards on the slide. He was seriously the coolest slide conductor I'd ever met. Hannah described him as a protector and noticed he didn't have a phone with him like the other teenage lifeguards. By the end of our 3 days there, the new kids knew and loved Mike because he unlocked the gate on the slides when they opened at 9, and he was always smiling at them. I learned that his word for 2020 is hope. He told me with outstretched arms he finds this when he looks at our next generation. A Google search of Mike when we got home stopped me in my tracks. His name is Mike Koval, and his resume goes back to 1983 and includes a law degree, Madison Police Department Chief of Police for 5 years.
Oh my gosh.
SWAT team negotiator and FBI investigator. Wow. Mike's onto something, y'all. He has lived an intentional life dedicated to serving and protecting us, seen the worst of our society, been shot at and threatened for years, and after all this, he finds joy and hope helping kids go down water slides. In our brief interaction, he taught me, number 1, just when you think someone is making minimum wage, think again. We all have something to learn from each other, like how to find hope. And number 2, go ride those slides with your kids. So wow. I love that story.
This is very cool. I wonder if Dorothy, have you heard this story or do you know him? Because Dorothy lives in Madison.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't remember him while we were there, but I didn't follow the news all that much and stuff. I remember some of the police chiefs, but obviously the police have come under fire over the last couple years, and I think as with every group in the world, there are bad actors, but I think it's worth pointing out the people who are good and doing good things, and I think if we can see that model, to me, what struck me was that he would be doing this, first of all. I mean, right. I'm sure he has a pension. You could just be sitting, going fishing or something like that. And so the fact that he's doing this is cool. I think it's also cool that he's, like Sarah said, he's seen the worst of society and he still has hope. I think that is something we can all learn from, because if you spend all your time on Facebook or watching the news, you might be convinced that the world is terrible and it's the worst times we've ever lived in. And to think of someone who is looking and sees hope might seem ridiculous, but I'm here to tell you, like, the majority of the world is good. There's a lot of bad stuff, but the stuff we see on the news and the stuff we see on social media is really magnifying a small minority of what's really out there.
Right.
And so I don't know.
This story is such a good example of that. And I see like Kim Stanfield McMillan knows him. So this is cool. This is cool to see the Midwest connection here. And I saw Jody said, I want to retire to a job like that, right? And here's an interesting question is like, what if it's not even a retirement job? What if you just did a job you loved? I mean, obviously you have to be able to pay your bills, so there's a balance to it. But it is an interesting challenge, right?
Yeah. So I thought that'd be kind of fun to share with you guys because it really made my day to kind of read that and hopefully gives us all an example to shoot for. And that's exactly what it is about being an adultitis fighter. It's not necessarily about playing all day long, and we can have some very serious, important jobs and try to tackle some really serious problems, but being able to still have that positive attitude and that that ability to look for hope, I think, is something that we all could use a little bit more of. So, cheers to you, Mike Koval. Thank you, Sarah, for writing that up and sharing that with the rest of us. We really appreciate it.